Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be going over some pretty big leaks that apparently have happened for this upcoming State of Play, which it actually might be a little bit less cool than we're expecting. And as well, we also had some pretty big announcements coming from the Nintendo Direct that just actually happened earlier on today. And kind of some funny stuff too tied in on why they also decided to not want to really go promote this out too much in the UK too as well. So we're going to talk about our expectations for the State of Play for PlayStation, talk about the Nintendo Direct, and as well, we'll also be probably doing maybe like a post video, possibly, on what happened in the PlayStation Direct, as long as it was good. I call it PlayStation Direct, PlayStation State of Play, as long as it was good too as well, so be on the lookout for that. And obviously make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, and the Amazon links down below, Target links down below, and let's dive into the video. So, we've actually been seeing some kind of somewhat more disappointing news. Now, I'm going to hope I'm wrong, because you still have a few hours until the event happens. I'm going to hope that I'm wrong, and this event has like one or two really big AAA explosions that were like, let's go, and, exciting games. But as of right now, we have been seeing some more of these insiders talking about the fact that the PlayStation State of Play will just be having a lot of minor games, says Insider. Now, some folks are kind of assuming this will be a smaller, less impactful State of Play, mainly because they've only had like a 24-hour notice. Prior State of Play has had around like about a week or so, give or take. And with this, it was also announced, strangely, at the same time, right after Nintendo. And also, I think there is also an Xbox event too that might be scheduled up on the 15th. I'll have to double check that a little bit more though. But I may be thinking that PlayStation's like, other folks are doing stuff. We were gonna do one eventually. Let's just try to squeeze it right in the middle and hope we can make some people happy. Now, I do think a lot of folks will be pushing on the God of War Ragnarok, because we saw like 5 or so developers massively retweet it, so we might have a chance to see a little bit more gameplay or news with it. But as well, we also kind of seem like everything else seems like it's a big disappointment so far. So with this, PlayStation fans may want to temper their expectations. I'm gonna hope, I got always that little baby smidgen of hope that we'll have some more stuff coming out and better stuff, but basically, according to a reliable insider, the show is allegedly set to feature lots of minor games and not a lot of big game lineups that some weren't mentioning. So the insider, The Snitch, who previously correctly leaked the announcements in the PlayStation's June State of Play, has posted on Discord that he knows the lineup for today's State of Play, and it won't include big name releases such as Wolverine 2, a new Silent Hill, which was a big kind of talk, or a Metal Gear Solid remake. So a little bit on the sadder side. So he basically said, I know the lineup for the State of Play, lots of minor games, but as always, people are expecting to see Wolverine 2, Silent Hill, etc., FF Versus, etc. So what I've had a chance to kind of temper my expectations, we'll probably see a little bit of God of War Ragnarok. Makes sense with all the devs retweeting. As well, well, I don't know. I kind of wish we could see just updates. We'll maybe see a little bit of Forspoken because they just showcased up some gameplay before. We'll maybe go and see some Final Fantasy 16 because they have shown a lot / showed trailers before. I'm just hoping that we have like one good announcement where I'm like, let's go, and I'm excited. But so far, I think with a 20-minute, which is also kind of short, event, I'm on the middle. Like, I'm kind of on the middle. I think it was a little bit more hyped up for the Nintendo so far. But of course, it still hasn't come out yet. Like, this could be completely wrong. They could try to work in something last minute. We never know, but it's always nice to see. Sony hasn't revealed that will be shown during the State of Play. And there's also, I think, a few VR2 games, which I'm excited for PlayStation VR 2, but I'm also not, like, excited. Like, I'm down to play. I'm down to probably, get my PlayStation. I'll probably enjoy it. But I'm not, like, I'm going to stay up until 12 o'clock to play a PSVR 2 game. Now, for a game like God of War Ragnarok, yeah, I might. But for that, if I see it, I'll be like, oh, that's neat, and then probably forget about it until it comes out in the first place. But as we did mention, God of War Ragnarok's developers have kind of teased that there will be a good appearance there. So, I mean, it makes sense. You had a lot of developers retweeting stuff and go from there. So there is still a chance. Like, the Snitch itself and the leakers, they haven't really had a chance to fully talk about it. So they might have something that's a little bit more exciting than we thought. We were also seeing, I think, some comments saying that there's going to be maybe 2 AA games, a little bit of VR stuff. But that's only at 4 games or so that people have seen. So I think everyone keeps on saying temper the expectations. What do you guys think? I'm thinking a little bit of God of War news and maybe some kind of mid-tier stuff. I would love to go and see the 1 or 2 really big hype announcements that we weren't really expecting. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. We'll kind of see up in a few hours or so. We'll probably maybe have a recap video up on the channel itself. Now as well, if you guys missed it, we did also have a Nintendo Direct that happened today, which in all honesty, I was kind of hyped up for this one. So we did finally go and have the new Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, and now you guys know why this was a little bit sketchy / delayed. Tears of the Kingdom was the quote-unquote name. And if you guys remember, the, UK and all these other things were actually paused. Because, yeah, that's awkward. Like, that makes a lot of sense. They also have some other things, too, we'll go into over here with Pikmin 4. I will play that game. I loved Pikmin back in the day. Fire Emblem Engage, and many, many more. So basically, we have this one over here where we did have our Nintendo Direct earlier on today, which is very cool to see. And I think the main big thing that everyone's hyped up for is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and as well, although it's not announced, the Switch Pro perpetual rumors are still there, where maybe one day we'll finally get that Switch Pro announcement, and maybe it'll be also corresponded to as well with the new Zelda, which was on, I believe, in May. So that was all the Zelda news. Fans were also treated with the reveal of the Fire Emblem Engage, the news that Pikmin 4 will arrive in 2023. I will play this for sure. The new Octopath Traveler Kirby game are on the way, and that GoldenEye 007, I think that was the one. This was like, I think, that closet announcement that a lot of folks were probably not expecting. I personally wasn't really expecting this too, but I think a lot more folks are hyped up for that. There's a lot packed in those 40 minutes. I'll probably watch the entire thing up on my Twitch if you guys want to follow. Probably same with the PlayStation thing too, just maybe whenever it's all done to kind of chill. We're all here to gather the announcements, trailers, and gameplay over here. So number one, they did go and have the sequel to the Breath of the Wild, and it's called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is actually out over here in May. So you guys may have had a chance to see just little bits and glimpses of the gameplay itself. I think it looked sick. Like, this was kind of giving me some Skyward Sword vibes, which wasn't my favorite Zelda game, but at the same time, Breath of the Wild was. And the fact that they've changed the environment and world a little bit more was making me pretty hyped. I like seeing this. It's pretty good. So it'll be on May 12th, 2023. It'll be released on the Nintendo Switch too as well. Love this stuff. We have some new stasis powers and all of that. Pikmin is actually one of the more closet games where I'm like, oh my god, let's go. I loved Pikmin back in the day. Like, I really did enjoy Pikmin. Like, I think I did 1 and 2, never did 3 back in the GameCube as well. But yeah, this was officially now announced. This is probably like, I really want to play this. I really like these. They're very chill, besides, you know, the imminent like implosion of your ship. But I always thought this was always very nice. It will be released in 2023 too as well. But it's funny, though, because they said the game was very close to completion in 2015. Now, I know a lot of my friends are also big fans into Fire Emblem. So they have a new mainline game, and it also features Marth. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Marth, you know, from Smash and all of that. But yeah, they have a brand new Fire Emblem game coming out over here. Looks pretty good. I will probably pick this up and play this myself, too, as well. Maybe like an off-stream, off-YouTube game, though. But looks pretty good. Looks good graphically wise. Almost gives me a little bit of Genshin vibes too as well. But yeah, I'm liking this. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty hoggers. I'm kind of down with that one too as well. This will be released on the Nintendo Switch in January 20th, 2023. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe also as well. Another Kirby game too, which is nice to see some more Kirby love showing on up. This is more on the 2D rather than the 3D game that just came out not too long ago. I think I'm a little bit more excited for this one, though. I remember a lot of my old school Kirby games were always on the 2D side. So this kind of fits more of a traditional Kirby game to me, and I do like the graphics, art style, and everything else. Looks and seems pretty cute. Octopath Traveler as well is pretty high up there on my list of like, let's go. So the Octopath Traveler 2 announced with new heroes in the same wonderful 2D HD art style. Looks pretty good. I got a little bit bored of the last Octopath. I'll probably pick this up and play it for a few days until I get bored, but the art style, cool and unique at the time. It was a little bit on the generic JRPG style, though, in all honesty, but I still enjoyed the game. Bayonetta 3, it finally does get another nice little new trailer over here, which is very nice to go and see just some gameplay movement. This is definitely one of those games, though, I wish was on a Switch Pro as well. Final Fantasy Theatrium, Final Bar line is out to celebrate the franchise music, and it's out early next year. And as well, GoldenEye 007 with online play. I would love to play this. Mario Party and Pokemon Stadium lead the pack in the new N64 games headed to the Switch. So in case you guys are curious, and on this one, too, we'll have a lot more of the online games coming out over here on their stuff. Dude, I used to play these games all the time when I was a kid. I'd probably play them again just for, you know, the lore and stuff like this. But yeah, I'm very down. These are old, like, good, fun memories for me. And Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion will also be released on December 13th, 2022. Will be released on the Switch and other platforms too as well. Awesome to see. New Mario Kart maps too on top of that. Nintendo Switch Sports will get its free golf mode this holiday, which is funny because we also have Mario Golf. Mario Strikers gets its second free update this month. Xenoblade Chronicles has a new DLC, and the very first Splatoon Splatfest has been confirmed. Resident Evil Village Cloud will also let Switch owners meet Lady Dimitrescu as well, and also Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life is getting a remake too, and I'll probably end up playing this one on top of that, with also Fae Farm with the RPG coming out too. Fatal Frame Mask Lunar Eclipse comes to the West too on top of that. Tunic coming to the Switch, and It Takes Two Game of the Year arriving at Nintendo Switch in November. There's a few little small things too, such as Sifu coming out, Tales of Symphonia Remastered, and a few other little various other games too, as well as you guys have a chance to see. New SpongeBob SquarePants game, new Rune Factory, and a few other little various small updates too on top of this, as all you guys kind of go and scroll through these really quickly, such as Just Dance and everything else. But we'll see how the PlayStation event happens in the next few hours. I do think the Nintendo event turned out pretty good though at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts. Are there any games you guys are excited for? Anything you guys are hoped up for? And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, all the usual sell links such as Twitch and all that, Twitch, Twitter, and all that down below.